According to a new report, COVID-19 likely came from a lab in China. Headline in the Wall Street Journal yesterday read, "Lab leak, most likely origin of COVID-19 pandemic," Energy Department now says. The report is based on, quote, new intelligence and has been included in briefings to the White House and key members of Congress. Gordon Chang, author of The Coming Collapse of China and the Great U.S.-China Tech War, joins us now to talk about this and more. Gordon, great to have you back. First off, what do you make of this report, and are you at all surprised?
I'm a little bit surprised that they actually released this, but clearly the conclusion is correct. I mean, we have seen so much evidence of a lab leak. Now, this does not necessarily say that SARS-CoV-2, the pathogen that causes COVID-19, was engineered, but it goes a long way towards saying that. But, you know, Tracy, one thing that's important, and that is whether this started out as a biological weapon or not, China turned it into one by lying about contagiousness. And while they were locking down their own country, they were pressuring other countries to take arrivals from China without restriction. So that means that they deliberately spread this beyond their borders.
Yeah, and it seems that the CCP is denying this lab leak theory. You know, no shock there. That said, what do you think, if anything, will come from all of this? I mean, do you think there will ever be any recourse?
Well, not in the Biden administration, because they've been asking for unanimity among the 18 units of the American intelligence community. And that's virtually impossible. So I think they're slow walking this. I think that we have enough information in which to justify the imposition of consequences on China. And we absolutely should do this because we need to deter China from spreading the next disease. We know that their military researchers are working on new pathogens. We need to make sure they don't spread those diseases as well.
Yeah, I want to switch gears now, Gordon. There are reports coming in that in the coming months, the United States will be sending troops to Taiwan. What do you make of this move, and what does this all signal?
We're sending training troops, not a tripwire. And it's good that we are training Taiwan, but we need to do more because we've had this policy of strategic ambiguity, which worked, but it worked in a period that was benign. And we're no longer in a benign period. We know that the Chinese regime is preparing for war, which means that we need to make sure that we can deter China. And so far, I don't think we're really doing that with what we're seeing from the Chinese regime these days.
Yeah, and I know you recently wrote an article on the China spy balloon, writing that not only was the balloon gathering intelligence, but the Pentagon was completely caught off guard. What more can you tell us about this?
Well, the Pentagon says that they tracked the balloon as it took off from Hainan Island and crossed the Pacific. We know that it entered U.S. territorial airspace on January 28th at the Aleutians. It then traveled up toward the Alaskan landmass and then south across Western Canada. It was only on the fourth day of intrusion did the Pentagon actually notify the commander-in-chief of this. That's far too late. And that was meant that when you got to the balloon entering the lower 48 states, then the Pentagon made the argument, well, we can't shoot it down because it might come down on people or property. But they had plenty of opportunity to bring this down over uninhabited Alaskan or Canadian land.
Well, Gordon, thank you so much for coming on. Always appreciate your insights. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tracy.